love and the love of music. I cannot believe the guest that I have on today. Her name is Jasmine, and what I want to tell you about this young lady is that when I received her as a recommendation for somebody for my wedding business, like it went through number 1, number 2, and number 3, and all of these people said, oh no, you have to have Jasmine. She is the most gifted, the newest, the youngest, and the hottest classical guitarist on the island. Did you know that?
No.
It's true. I had 3 people that knew your name that referred me to you that said she's the youngest, she's the most gifted, and her classical guitar is over the top. And so let me introduce you to Jasmine. Thank you so much for being here today.
I'm honored. I'm honored to meet you and just share the love with you.
I am so glad you said yes. So on rare occasion, I have somebody for one of my weddings that asked for a classical guitarist. And I have called on Jasmine a couple of times, and as I've gotten to know this young lady, I have seen that she has a gift. And as a matter of fact, I have some tissue here on the side because she's going to be performing for us today. And when I hear her play, it gives me chicken skin down to my toes, and it's just an honor. So just give us a quick one bam, and then I want to ask you some questions because I want you folks to hear this.
All right. Well, we'll start with the reason I learned guitar, and this is called the Malagueña.
Some of those casitas or the little things, the maracas that you dance with and the things that you shake. Phenomenal. I mean, just like phenomenal.
That's my passion.
I can see that clearly. Yeah. We need to begin at the beginning. As a little girl, did you have a desire to play this instrument? Or just start with, how did this come about for you, Jasmine?
Well, as a little girl, actually, I sang before I spoke. Oh. My mom prayed over me when I was young. She's like, let her be a singer. And my mom played guitar, my dad played guitar, but they didn't really want me to learn it. They didn't want me to try to make a life out of it because it's so difficult. And I understand where they're coming from, but it's worth it to me. So of course I went and studied guitar, but first I learned singing, and then I learned violin in elementary. But I was really bad at the violin. It's a good thing that I don't play anymore. And then my dad taught me the Malagueña when I was about 13. And I begged him like every day, please teach me the Malagueña. I love it. Like I love the way he played it, and I love the strumming, and it would just make me bounce off the wall. I'd get so excited. And so, yeah, he finally gave in, and I was horrible at it, like absolutely horrible. My brothers would be like, stop playing, like you should not be doing this. Like, but I was just so determined, and you know, I would just play it like every day. And then, you know, a couple years later, I homeschooled, and then I had no music at all. Like I had no lessons, no instruction in school, like for the last 3 years of my high school. And so I really craved music when I started college. I decided to take a beginning classical guitar class. And then it just went from there. I just sprung like that. Like it just all absorbed over the years, and it just came back to me at once. And I soared through the class. My teacher was like, you're amazing at this, you should study. And I was like, okay, like I didn't know what else I was gonna do. I was like, all right, you know, I was just starting school. And so I took the classes, and he really, Stuart Nago is an amazing teacher and instructor, and he really just set me on my path, you know, after, you know, my parents had instructed me, but he gave me some deeper instruction and just kind of guided me in how to be a guitarist. And I still jam with him today, and he's awesome.
That's so neat.
Yeah.
I just watched your fingers as they caressed, I mean, for real, like I say the word caressed, but that's the way it looked when I watched her fingers on the neck of this guitar. I don't know what you call it, but
yeah, the neck.
This piece, the neck of the guitar, it looks like they're just like barely touching them, and yet so much music comes out of this instrument.
Right.
So it looks like it's your baby, because I see it's a little bit well worn. You've got some tape on it.
I beat it up.
Yeah. Tell me about this and how you came across this one.
Okay, well, once I got really good at guitar, I was like, I'm going to reward myself, and I was performing a little more. So I was like, I researched a bunch of different guitars, and the Cordoba GK Pro Flamenco is what I thought sounded best, and it just has such a deep, rich tone to it, and it doesn't buzz too much, because in flamenco guitar, like you get that buzz a little bit, you hear it, it's slightly there, and on an actual, like with the certain wood that they use in flamenco, like you're gonna buzz even more. And I don't use the flamenco strings because they're just even more buzzy. And like I want a cleaner tone, but I also want it to be rough when I strum. So I have a slight buzz.
Yeah, I like that. That's a great definition.
Yeah.
So is this the only instrument you play on?
This is my main baby. I have a steel string I play at church as a Martin. But this is my one that I go all over the world with this guitar. Right. I wouldn't leave it at home ever.
I don't know anything about this instrument. I was taking some ukulele down in Pocky Park. I think I might have been the youngest person in the group, and it was okay. I actually like it. And then I was gifted an ukulele, which I love. And of course, it doesn't have the same amount of strings, so I'm learning a little bit. And I complained that my fingertips were sore and blah blah blah. And I've discovered that it's not really who I am, but I've had fun.
Yeah.
And I want to know what does classical guitar mean? Like, it's not just guitar, like you're not playing rock and roll, or you're not playing soft jazz tunes, but what does classical mean? Classical
is, it refers to a certain time period in the music, and like they kind of set all the rules back during Mozart's time and Beethoven, just by writing more music, and it follows certain scale patterns and rhythm, and technically they don't consider flamenco classical. I couldn't study it in school. I actually had to go to Spain to study flamenco because it's different in the scale and the rhythm and the structure. And flamenco's more open and free, whereas classical, you play it exactly like it's written on the page. So it's just a certain style during certain time periods.
Well, so I could have said, oh, the show's going to be more flamenco style than classical style.
True, yeah.
She asked me, well, how's the flow going to go? And I said, well, we're going to do a little of this and a little of that. So flamenco style.
Yeah, a little flamenco style.
Great.
Yeah.
And the piece that you just played, could you say the name of it again?
This was called the Malagueña.
Malagueña.
Now, in Spain, Malagueña is a type of flamenco. It would be like saying, oh, I'm going to sing some pop today, or I'm going to sing some rock today. It's an actual style within the genre. So there are like 12 main styles of flamenco, and the malagueña, it follows a certain chord progression, the E to the F to the G. You're going to hear that, and then it has these certain patterns. You'll always hear that in a malagueña. Whatever you do besides that is up to you. And in flamenco, you're supposed to take it and just kind of make it your own every time.
Oh, interesting.
It's beautiful.
All of a sudden, this idea of Spain and flamenco, and you have a local teacher, but how did you get to Hawaii?
Oh, Hawaii.
Like, how did you land here with this gift?
Oh, man. Well, my grandfather lived here for 30 years.
Oh.
He worked for the state as a civil engineer, helped design the roads in the 1960s. He came, and one day he was hit and killed by a boat, and it ended up bringing my family, me and my mom, and we came out for the lawsuit, and I said, oh my God, this is paradise. Yes. I must live here the rest of my life. And we went home and we got everyone, and we decided to move out here a year before I started college so I could get residency. I was actually like the first one in my family to decide to go to college, and so we all came out here so I could do that. And then I studied music, and the rest is history.
Wow,
yeah.
Amazing, amazing. And so in classical guitar, it sounds like you've taken your heartstrings are geared towards the Spanish style.
Right.
Are there other types of classical guitar music that people specialize in?
Yeah, there's Brazilian classical guitar. You know, there's your Western classical, where you hear like a lot of the Bach. Yeah, there's a lot of different, it just depends on which part of the world you're studying from. And like I said, yeah, Brazilian or European classical. And then now we have modern classical with modern composers. And I even compose some classical pieces for my albums and self-pleasure.
Do you have a piece you'd like to play?
Sure.
I have a little list here.
Cool.
Is there, actually, let me share it with you. Maybe you want to pick one off of there.
Okay, yeah. Actually, I'll do a different one. It's kind of it's a study. It's like a classical study.
Okay.
And this is called Whale Song, and I called it that because I'd written it, and when I went whale watching, there were no whales, and I just pulled out my guitar and started playing this piece, and whales started jumping, and I'm like, they can hear me.
Could you call my next whale watching trip with
yes.
me in January?
Yes.
Let's go to Maui
it's
together.
More than once.
Yeah, I would love it.
It's incredible.
How neat.
Yeah, so this one, it's kind of a study in the scale, and I'm using a lot of sixths. And in classical music, you'll use a lot of sixths in your scale. So this is Whale Song.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
I feel like they could all gather around us in a moment.
Right, yeah.
Beautiful,
Thank
beautiful.
You. Thank you.
I have to share with the audience that even though we have a view, well, you would think that we were in Barcelona, Spain. We're actually, I said to Jasmine and I said to the producer Keikoa at Olelo, can we do the scene of something Spanish behind us? And he said, of course, June, we can.
Yeah.
And so the theme of having this amazing background of this arch is just phenomenal, and it really enhances the vibration of the music, even though we just heard the whale song. And I want to share the way you can find Jasmine is by your website. And is it Nightbloom? Nightbloom.
Nightbloommusic.com.
Nightbloommusic.com. And if you don't know, the jasmine flower blooms at night.
Yes.
So if you're wanting to remember that, it's nightbloommusic.com.
Thank you.
Yeah, definitely. And so let's go back to the classical kind of music. Is it because of the music your father played that you fell in love with Spanish classical music?
Yeah.
And the flamenco style?
Yeah, it's just I was exposed to it at such a young age, and being from Texas, that's where I originated. You know, there's a lot of Spanish culture, and I really love it. Like I've been a missionary in Mexico all the way through Central America, and I love Spanish cultures, and I love Spain and everything there, and I can't wait to hear Spanish and hear Spanish music. And
I grew up in San Diego, and we used to go down to Tijuana or all the way down through Mexico, through Baja. And I always loved it when the mariachis came up, and they had these huge guitars, but they had these gigantic bulbous backs to them.
Yeah, they're just...
And they had these bellies that they rested there. And the music was so rich and beautiful and festive and fun.
Yes, it is.
And it reminds me of the music that you play that's so festive and fun.
Yeah. I think it's the funnest music. It's so fast, and I want to be the fastest. I want to be like the fastest and the loudest there ever was.
Definitely. You know, I had hired you for a couple of weddings to work with me.
Yeah.
And then one day, I went down to Waikiki to go see a local performer play. Her name is Taimani Gardner. And I looked, is that Jasmine? And all I could do was wait to get her attention because I saw that she was playing with her. I'm like, you're kidding me.
Awesome.
That is like, that's the backup. In my mind, I'm thinking, she needs to be the show.
Oh, man.
She needs to be the show.
Well, now I am.
And as I've gotten to know you, I'm so glad to know that you are working on your own program and your own show.
Thank
you. And look, I have chicken skin.
I'm exhilarated, too.
Yeah, it's really great to see you working on your own and stepping out to the forefront of this amazing woman that you are with this instrument.
Yes,
so what are you currently doing that's blasting out onto the world so that people know how to find you and follow you?
Yeah, well, we just, like you said, I just started my own project, and it's Nightbloom. I've been working on it for a while, but now we have new life. We have a new drummer. Her name is Kimmer. She joined us. She's actually a singer-songwriter, but her rhythms are just phenomenal. And then we also have a new violinist who I've known and played with for 6 years, but she recently said, I really want to join your band. I like your vision, Jazzy, because I shared with her that I don't want to just get up and play for people for my own profit, my own glory. Like, I want to get up and make people happy. Like, I want to teach them that they can be something better than they are and inspire them to just grow, because I've been given so many chances and I've been inspired, and so many people have helped me. I'm like, it has to come back. I have to give back to the whole world and the whole community. So I've been reaching out to play at like high schools, and I played at a elementary school recently in Kaneohe, and that was so cool. The little kids were just blown away, and like that's what it means to me. It's just
inspiring.
Love. Yeah, and inspiring.
I just heard, let me just segue for a moment.
Sure.
I was talking with a friend yesterday about Pink. The musical artist.
Yes, I love Pink.
And not just the talk that she gave at the awards, but that what she's doing now is that my understanding is that she's playing her music, and that she's inviting others to play her music.
Awesome.
And then she's supporting them in feedback in playing her music.
Wow.
So that the singers and those that are musicians that are coming forward, they too are getting airtime, because they're working with her to get her work, like she gets more seen, but her service is a gift to people that really love her and her platform, and how she really cares about people, and that whole aspect of love is for everyone, and so is music. And I'm so happy to hear that you are diving into that element yourself.
That is true. I have students, and I encourage them to come watch me, and then I tell them, when you feel comfortable, I want you to come up and play with me, like be a part of this and just grow and learn. And Yeah,
beautiful.
That's amazing. I didn't know that about being.
I didn't either.
She's a hero of mine for sure.
Incredible musician and artist. Yes.
Yeah.
So when you went into the school, what was that like for you?
You know, you never know what to expect with kids, you know, especially little kids, you know, but they were all really well behaved, and it was just a really small class because it's summertime, but they started clapping and singing with us and dancing, and I'm like, this is it. This is so amazing. Like, they're never going to forget this.
Yes. And think of all of the children that you inspired, and who knows what they'll become.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what I think about.
Yeah.
I say, who am I going to inspire to become greater than they are?
What did you play for them?
I played the Malagueña.
Yeah.
I played the song with my mom that she wrote called There Is a Tree.
Is that on my list?
No. And then I played the song called Rebelde, which is the Rebel, is a flamenco song I wrote.
That's on the list?
Yes, that's on the list.
Would you like to play that
sure,
one now?
Yeah,
let's do that.
Cool. This one is the
we
one.
Need to, I want to hear you sing too.
Okay, yeah.
I feel so fortunate. Look, I'm sitting in a studio with Jazzy, and I'm getting her all to myself, but you get to see her too.
Yeah.
It's just bliss.
That's awesome. It's awesome. I hope you like this. It's a little
loving
edgy.
everything.
Yeah.
The name again?
This is called Rebelde.
Rebelde.
Yes, the rebel.
Can you, how do you get all of that out of there? I need a big round of applause. Like, Keiko, could you add like the roar of 1,000 people to this? Absolutely astounding.
Yeah,
I mean, amazing.
Takes my breath away, but
yeah, I can see that. And you're not singing, but you're playing. I mean, this is, you're just relentless on this piece of equipment. It's beautiful.
Explains all the dings and everything.
Yeah, absolutely beautiful. Take a breath.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man.
Oh, let it out. Wow. Wow, 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 wow.
Cool.
So from kids to playing with the band, do you have only female members in your band? Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, I do.
That's what I caught on to. So tell me more about that.
Well, it just happened out that way, you know, like I've been playing with my mom for a long time, but then my best friend came along and was like, I want to play drums with you, and she's actually the reason I'm out performing by myself now. Is she kept bugging me, come to open mic, go to open mic, come on, let's go. And just every week she would make me go. And then every week, you know, it would get better and better, and we'd have more response. And like, I owe a lot to her right now because she really inspired me. And then, yeah, so it was 3 of us. And then she had to quit because she's working on her thesis. Like, her passion is nutrition, and that's really what she's going after in life. And she decided that, hey, Jazzy, you know, like, I can't do this anymore because I want to play like every night of the week, you know, as much as possible. Yeah, I love it. And she's like, she just doesn't have time. So she found an awesome replacement, though, and she just happened to be female, and she's really good. And then, like I said, the violinist joined us, and she's amazing. And it just, I mean, if a male wanted to join, I wouldn't be against it, you know, but right now we can say we're the only all-girl flamenco band on the island.
That's so cool.
It is cool.
That's so cool.
It is cool.
I wonder, could you show up to like one of the dance schools and play?
Yeah, I've played with a dance troupe before with the flamenco in Diamond Head, the Diamond Head Theater over there, and that's really fun. We're actually wanting to find a dancer to come and perform at our shows with us.
Okay, so there you go. Yes. You all are on task.
You are welcome.
We need a flamenco dancer to dance with Jazzy and Nightbloom.
Yes.
And to add to the performance. Wouldn't that be exciting? Gee, I would take lessons, but I would be a beginner and that would not look good. I'm absolutely sure.
I'm sure it'll be fine. We had people dancing last night at our show, and I was just like, wow, this is incredible.
It's a dream come true. It's really nice to see the glow on you, because the last time I was with you, I was like, let's get to it. I want to see you go. Like, you got stuff to do. And so you've just transformed over the last 6 months, I'm going to say. Yeah,
and I want to thank you, too, for just pushing me and to believe in myself. Like, I had kind of forgotten who I was, and you really just reminded me. So thank you.
I'm so glad, yeah. When we chatted for a bit that one day, I mean, when I saw her on stage, and of course when I've seen her perform at weddings and doing requests that brides have asked for, their way, her way, their way, her way, and then having people come up to me afterwards and saying, thank you for bringing such a special woman on board. I have to thank those that referred me to you once upon a time, which has just been magical. And to see her playing her guitar out on the beach, let me tell you, is really magical also. So tell me about what inspires you to write your own music, and do you, when you go out to perform, do you do your own and already pre-composed music? Pre-composed? Composed music?
I'd say we have a pretty good set where we mix a lot of like our original with a lot of popular stuff. You know, you can't play too much original music because if people don't know it already, they just tend to ignore you. Whereas if like I play a pop song and then throw in, you know, 3 songs later, one of my songs, they think it's just like all the pop hits they've heard. And to them, it's just another one of those songs.
That maybe they missed because they didn't listen to the radio at the right time, but it's really you.
Yeah, it's exactly. So, because when I first started, I made the mistake of doing all originals. And I was just, because I wanted to play my music, you know, but people wouldn't listen. Like, you got to learn, you know, you have to be willing to grow as a musician. You can't stay in the same spot if you're not succeeding. You have to do something different. And so I decided, okay, I'm going to learn some pop songs, but I'm going to do them the way I want to do them. And I've had really good response, and I'm stoked.
Do you have another one of those, or do you have a favorite you'd like to play and or sing?
A pop song?
Do I have one on the list?
Oh, not like a cover, but I could. I mean, I could do a cover.
If you have one that strikes your fancy. If not, choose one of these.
All right, let's do one I wrote, and it's called La Lie.
Okay. La Lie.
La Lie. Now this
Ooh,
song,
and this is a singing song.
Yes.
Okay,
this
great.
Song is, I wrote this song, how I was inspired was sometimes when I go through like hardships in my life, I'll just sit back and try to learn. I'll try to process everything that happened, everything I knew that I didn't listen to. So this song is one of those, I should have listened to my intuition, and it's about knowing when to let go of things and just not lying to yourself anymore. And just, I called it La Lie, and it's really a song I wrote to myself.
Ah.
Yeah, but it's for everyone, really.
That's because we all do that, including me.
Yeah.
It's called life.
Yes, it's true.
Yeah.
It's true.
But it also gets us to where we need to go if we listen.
Right. You have to. And, yeah.
And that's about loving ourselves.
Yeah, really.
You can't love me now. I finally see you held back everything while
beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
So much truth.
Yeah.
Oh, frightening. And so true and so rich.
It's so real. Like,
so real.
and I just realized last week I wrote that song to myself, and I wrote it 7 years ago. And I always thought it was to someone else, but it was really to me. It's just mind-blowing. Like, wow.
The gifts always come at the right time, don't they?
They do. They do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah, sometimes I cry when I'm performing it. It just gets, it's so emotional.
There's the song that Prince wrote for Sinead O'Connor.
Mm-hmm.
And it made me think of that song.
Okay.
And the passion. The minute I said it, the song went out of my
I'm
head.
sure if it's Prince, it's passionate.
Oh, God, yes.
Prince is amazing.
He wrote it for Sinead O'Connor. Oh, come on, June. Well, it'll come back.
Yeah, we'll Google it.
I was so busy paying attention. I was trying to pay attention anyway. So, but it just made me think of the passion and the longing to find ourselves. And it's right in front of us. And when we don't listen,
Right.
and finally when we do, some part of me wants to say, though, that it's being lined up for us for the right time.
I agree.
That it just unfolds when it's supposed to.
Right.
There's no other time. And as long as we linger in the milieu of the muck, of the crap, well, that's like the part where the seed really needs some more water, or it needs a little bit more depth for the roots to grow, or something about it that allows us to release so that we can come forward and have an offering like you have now, and so ready for out there and in the world doing your thing.
I agree.
Yeah. So with regard to where you're headed in your music, how can we support you? Like, what do you, can we hire you independently? Can we hire you with your group? Do we find you on your website?
Yeah, you can do all of that. Just go through the website or go through you even. And yeah, I really need work right now, gigs, and I want to perform, and I also want to give. Like, I want to give back to the community, and I need outlets for that too. Like, I don't know how to do that. Like, I'm just doing it on my own right now, but like, if anyone has a suggestion, like, I'm always open.
So you can blow up my phone anytime you want on Jasmine's behalf. My phone number is 330-5555. I mean, it's so simple.
Wow.
And I will forward you to her in no time, because, I mean, there's opportunities for her. She could be playing at fundraisers and all kinds of things, so that we could be sure that this gift, I mean, is there anybody else that's doing this on Oahu or in the island chain?
Not this kind of a mix, definitely. You either have like the Gypsy 808 kind of just jazz band, and they're just doing like that style, but I've always been the kind of person where I have ADD a little bit. I could never listen to a full album. I always had to change it to the next artist, and that kind of comes back through my music. Is I want to make you feel different moods at different times, and it's really an experiment on my behalf, you know, just what works with an audience and how to get people screaming at me, and it's really fun. It's definitely a learning process, though. And
yeah, it takes. I would imagine that it takes a bit of an actress or something like that. Like, you just get out of your comfort zone to rock it with this incredible instrument of yours, and learning to use your personality to enroll the audience and things like that, to make sure that while you're having a great time, which you probably are because you're already doing what you love, but that they are absolutely completely enrolled in the experience of this amazing instrument and the sound of you and the women that you play with. Yeah,
it's pretty incredible. Like more and more people are gathering when I play and pulling out their phones and like giving me attention, and I'm just like, wow, like, where did this come from? Like, it's so cool. But I look back and I see I learned that then, and I learned this then, and it's just all these steps, and then someday, like, I already see it. I'm going to be playing for stadiums full of people.
Yes.
And I already see it. Like, I know it's going to happen.
That's why I said I have my private mini concert today with all of you. Isn't that wonderful?
Yeah, I want to be a rock star, and I've felt that since I was a little girl. Like, before I even learned music or anything, like, I just felt that calling.
I want to share, this is about me. I want to share something about me. So I have been working on a book for 11 years.
Oh, that's the one I read?
Yes. Jasmine read through it as one of my editors.
It's amazing.
And gave me some great feedback. Thank you. And it was right in alignment with my girlfriend Heather that also read through it. Like, the same places that you gave feedback were the same places she gave feedback. So that was really valuable. I have seen my book as a best-selling book.
Yes.
Whenever I go into the bookstores, I stop by the kiosk with all the newest books out, the #1 bestsellers, and I'm like, that's my book.
Yes.
And the last time I was in the airport, my brother did the cover art for it, and so I pulled it up on my phone, and I stood by the bookcase of the bestseller, and I said to a stranger passing by, could you take a picture on your phone and text it to me so that I can have a picture of my book on the bestseller list?
Yeah.
I've seen it on the sides of buses
Wow.
and in like maybe even a play someday.
Amazing.
And I absolutely would. Maybe, wait a second. I'm not sure how we could work together on the stage, but I just had a vision like maybe we could work together on the stage sometime, Jazz.
Definitely, yeah. I could like play some nice classical while you read from it and
Oh, there
give
we go.
people your love and light.
And then when it got really, really heavy and,
Yeah,
and
be
some of
like-
the deep parts of the book, we could have Jasmine playing. Yeah. The
Yeah.
thrilling parts of the book and really build it up.
Yeah.
Oh, this could be,
That
I
would
think
be
we're starting
cool.
a new adventure
Yeah.
together.
I agree. That would be amazing. That would be awesome.
I'm loving this idea.
I love it too. Come, yeah, let's do it.
I could do readings at your, well, anyway, okay.
Yeah.
So we've done a little brainstorming here. Now let's back to Jasmine. All right, so what have you got lined up in the future here so our audience knows where to find you?
Well, currently I'm performing at The Spot, and that's on King Street and University, and that's my gift back to everyone. Like
The Spot.
The Spot. And
That's by Down to Earth in that
yeah,
neighborhood?
Down to Earth.
Okay, same
and-
side? Yeah.
And it's a free show, and we just do it to give love and light to everyone coming in to eat. People pull up on the street and they roll their windows down and like listen to us, and it's so cool to just, people will stop across the street where they're walking, like they're like 6 lanes over, and they stop and they're like, what am I hearing?
I love it.
And we just make people happy and we have a good time. And so that's our weekly gift back to the world, and it's a great place for us to grow and expand in our music and our creativity. And
Is that the full band?
that's the full band.
And what time and what day of the week?
It's every Tuesday.
Okay.
And we start at 7 till heaven. 7
Awesome.
till heaven.
I have a question. This has always been curious for me, but I like to call gratuity or a tip a love offering.
Yeah.
And do you put a love offering jar out?
Yes, we do.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Great. I just wanted to be sure.
And then we sell CDs. I have a flamenco album called Flamenco Island, and it's released on iTunes and Spotify. But we have a couple hard copies that we sell at our shows every once in a while. And I've had really good feedback with that, and that's awesome. And you know, if people can't even afford them, I'll give it to them and be like, here, have some music that'll make you happy and help you clean your house, because a lot of it's really
They'll
fast.
be done cleaning their house in no time at all.
Yeah.
You know what? I think I need to pick up one of those because I'm going to take it into the gym to see if I
Oh,
can get my
cool.
coach to play it.
Awesome.
Wouldn't that be crazy?
That would be cool.
I would love it.
Nice.
I'm going to see if I can get
That
him to
would be
blend it in.
awesome, yeah.
He just sent out an email the other day and said, what kind of music would you all like to listen to? Of course, I said Prince.
Yeah, Prince is nice.
Yeah, it's great music to
good beat,
get
good
down
rhythm.
to. Right.
Yeah, and the flamenco is a lot of stop and go, you know, too. So
Yeah.
it would be good, like an interval workout, kind of.
Oh, most definitely. And
Yeah.
that's what we do at actually Orange Theory Fitness.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
cool.
my favorite gym.
Awesome.
So do you have another piece that you'd like to play, one of your favorites?
Yeah,
I'll share my list with you.
cool.
And see if there's one of these that looks good to you.
I'll do Zambra.
Okay.
Zambra is it's one of the flamenco songs where I always imagine a belly dancer is dancing with us. This is called Zambra.
Oh, magnificent. Magnificent.
Thank you.
I had a few crazy thoughts in the middle of this song. First of all, I noticed that you strum upwards a lot.
Sure.
Is that part of flamenco style?
Well, I mean, with all strumming, you're either going down or you're going up. So,
oh, so that's the ignorance in me.
It's
Well,
a
what can I
rhythm
say?
thing, really.
Yeah.
So down is a downbeat. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4. And then the ups are your upbeats. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. And then if I do it together, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. And then if really fast.
Wow, I just bangs it out. It's amazing. Okay, now here's another really, I don't know, I'm just going to ask it anyway.
Please.
So every now and then when I see a man playing a guitar, I have all these romantic thoughts. And my mind just kind of goes straight to the bedroom or somewhere romantic.
Oh, yeah.
And the gift that he has for his craft, his trade, and whatever. And I'm wondering if you've had that experience of men coming towards you or women. I mean, in today's world, you know, everything goes, and it probably went that way before anyway. But what is the I don't even know how to ask the question. I almost feel like out of alignment, but at the same time, I'm curious because the instrument is a very beautiful piece.
Yeah.
And you can play it in very sensual ways.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Like, you know.
Yeah, I have guys come up to me all the time, and it's just, and girls, and, you know, and it's just like, okay, like, it's amazing, that's awesome, but I'm really kind of a loner kind of person. I don't know, I love people, I love my family, but I don't really get into a lot of relationships because I'm more dedicated to my family, I guess, than like my own kind of love life. And, you know, it's just always been like that. I'm really shy, like when it comes to personal things. So I'll get hit on by guys. Guys will come ask me questions and they'll be like, what are you doing after? You know, or girls are like, I've never seen fingers move that fast. And that's hilarious. And that's just, but it's not really something I think about. You know, it's not something that I perceive. Like, it's just.
Maybe the window will open up when the time is right. Clearly, this is what's happening now.
Yeah.
And this is what's present to be for now.
This is what I like.
I'm sorry, I couldn't help myself. It just happened. I'm like, yeah, do you sleep with her by your bed or sleep with him by your bed?
I do. I'll play with this guitar and then I'll put her right next to me and just go to sleep. It's right there.
Well, that's because this is your number one.
Yeah. This is my love. It goes with me everywhere.
Yeah,
it's awesome.
I totally get that, and it's completely understandable, and I think it's a beautiful, beautiful passion.
Yeah.
And I couldn't help but ask those questions.
No,
it seemed like,
awesome.
Is there anything missing in today's conversation I want to know? Great.
Yeah.
And so I do have a couple more questions.
Okay.
With regard to practice, how do you bring new music into your world, and how often do you practice besides, or is it just like when you're out and about, or do you spend time during the day, or when you're standing in line at the grocery store holding onto the cart, do you all of a sudden something fly into your mind and go like, oh my gosh, I have to write those chords down?
That happens, yeah, all of that, yes to all of those. I try to like plan a practice, like I plan my day, you know, the night before, and like I'm going to practice at this time, and this is what I want to accomplish. And sometimes it's writing music, and then sometimes it's researching music, and then sometimes it's actually like learning new songs. And with me, it's always been like I need to hear it, like a new song, and it has to catch my ear. And I have to say, if I like it, then like I could make other people like it too. So I'm going to learn that. And so yeah, that happens. And then as far as writing is when I get quiet, and then I'll just have little licks come to me, and I'll build a whole symphony off of one melody, you know, like so that's always cool too. And then sometimes it's like it's more of a pain. Sometimes I'll hear something one day and then I'll record that, and then I'll change it 2 days later, or I'll add to it, you know. So,
and then on top of that, there's the whole world of getting booked. Is my website right? Do I have the right tracks on my CD or my download? Am I on Instagram? Am I on Facebook? Did I Twitter the right thing? Are they all connected to each other? I'm an artist. I play the guitar the best. Why do I have to do all this other stuff? And like any other entrepreneur, you have to do all the other stuff.
Right, yeah, and they don't really teach you that in music school. They didn't. No. That's something I've had to learn on my own, and I really wish they would teach business with music, because it is a business. Like it has to be if you're going to try to make your living off of it. You have to sell yourself. You have to find different ways to market yourself, and that's that's the most difficult part for me. I could sit here and play all day and perform all day, but like you try to get me to go out and find a gig, it's going to take me like a week to get, you know, something booked for next month, you know.
And as an artist and being an individual and being you, you want to play it your way.
True.
You don't want to play it that way or their way.
Yeah.
And to have enough confidence and enough panache and style and business acumen, all of those things that all wrapped up in one Jazzy,
Right.
you know, is a lot to handle. And still, it's what you have to do to get out there and do all that you do. And
Yeah.
so I commend you for
Thank you.
stepping out. And because if you didn't, you'd still be doing the same thing.
Right.
Right?
Yeah. and
All of us.
I'm learning so much right now. It's like it's a whole new chapter I'm writing in my book, and it's so fun. And like they're failures, but I learned from those, and they're successes. And I'm like, okay, what did I do right?
Yeah.
And I just try to keep remembering those things.
I find for me as an entrepreneur, the highs and the lows, the highs are really super high. And when the lows are down, I'm like, I quit. I'm going back to my day job, whatever that was.
Right.
But I think to myself, it would be so much easier to do it this way. And really, the people that are doing it that way, they also experience it too. So no matter what, it's just, and your music has now the ability to connect people together.
Right. Yeah.
And that joy and that bliss of stopping 6 lanes across the traffic over at the Spot on
The
King
Spot,
Street,
yeah.
here in town off of
Yeah.
University. In that area. Beautiful. So we just have about 5 more minutes.
Oh, wow.
Time has just zipped by as I'm
yeah.
looking at the clock. And I'm wondering, is there one more song that you'd like to play?
Yeah.
And then we'll wrap up?
I'm gonna play.
And then we'll say it's a wrap?
Yeah.
No, wait, is that the movies? I don't know. It's so goofy. Is there one here that interests you that we've missed out on?
I'm going to play my favorite song to play, if that's okay.
Yes, please do.
It's called The Most Evolved, and it's a flamenco rumba, and it was written just like 10 years ago. And so it's a modern flamenco piece, and it's inspired me in some of the songs how I write, and it's really fun. It's one of those slow and then fast ones. So.
A flamenco rumba.
A rumba.
So this could be clearly danced to.
You can dance to this.
We need some dancers. Flamenco dancers, please call.
All right. Or come to the spot.
Or come to the spot, please. Jazz, thanks so much for coming on the show today. I really appreciate it. It's, you know, I think I only have had 3 shows in the last several years that have been a full hour. And when Jasmine came into the studio, I'm like, oh no, we have to do a full hour because I can't get enough.
Thank you.
I'd like to encourage all of you to stop by the spot on a Tuesday night. Please feel free to call me if you'd like to be in touch with this amazing classical guitarist in the flamenco style and everything else, and with a beautiful voice and a great band, Nightbloom.
Yes.
And however she can be of service, whether it's for, who knows, maybe it's a fundraiser and you need somebody to do the opening act for the performance.
Please,
or
ask me.
On
Yes.
stage at the Blaisdell, she's available. And I know that the audiences will absolutely be wowed. So I love you. I love your sound. And I'm so grateful for the time that you've spent with me today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for this opportunity.
Absolutely.
It's amazing.
All the best to you. All the best.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody, for watching. And it's all about love. Hey, Jasmine is all about love. Thanks so much. Aloha.
Aloha.